Shipping container homes sound like an ultimate dream. Cheap, cool, and fast. But most of them are scams, designed to drain your money and leave you with nothing but regrets. Let's expose the biggest traps lurking behind this craze. The most common scam starts long before any construction. It all begins with fake listings. Scammers create websites, social media pages, and ads that show stunning pictures of perfect container homes, luxurious, modern, and dirt cheap. But those images are stolen or fake, designed to lure unsuspecting buyers. The scammer then claims they have the perfect home ready for immediate delivery. With a price so low, it seems too good to be true. That's because it is. Once you send the payment, the scammer vanishes into thin air. No home, no delivery, no way to track them down. These scams prey on people eager to buy affordable homes quickly, especially online, where verifying seller credentials is difficult. Buyers often realize too late that they've been duped, losing their money and their hopes of owning a stylish container home. Always be suspicious of deals that seem too good to be true, particularly if the seller refuses to provide verifiable references or site visits. Never send money up front without thorough research. Fake listings are a trap designed solely to drain your account and leave you empty-handed. Beyond individual losses, these scams have grown into a full-scale ecosystem. Many buyers are lured by the low price, but what they get is far from the dream. It's a quality trap. The quality of these container homes is often terrible because shortcuts are taken at every stage. The walls might be made of rusty, thin metal that's prone to leaks and corrosion. Windows and doors are poorly installed, leading to drafts and water intrusion during storms. Insulation is usually minimal or non-existent, meaning in winter, the home turns into a freezing box. In summer, it becomes an oven. Mold and dampness quickly develop, creating health hazards and unpleasant living conditions. The supposed cheap price only covers the initial shell, but fixing these issues later can cost thousands. Buyers end up pouring money into repairs that should have been addressed up front. The scam here is that many builders deceive customers into believing they are buying a well-made, affordable home. But in reality, they're investing in a leaky, uncomfortable shelter that needs constant maintenance. The hidden costs of fixing substandard work can far surpass traditional housing expenses, turning what seemed like a bargain into a financial nightmare. What makes this trap even more devastating is the illusion of craftsmanship scammers present. Shipping containers are engineered to be stacked, not customized into cozy homes. When scammers or inexperienced builders cut into these steel giants, structural integrity is compromised. They often make large holes for doors and windows without reinforcement, which weakens key load-bearing parts. This makes the entire structure unstable, particularly in severe weather conditions like storms or earthquakes. Many container homes end up with cracks, warped walls, or even collapses because the modifications weren't done with proper engineering. The danger isn't just financial, it's physical. A poorly reinforced container can become unstable, risking injury or death. Even small, seemingly harmless alterations require expert knowledge to ensure safety. Sadly, many scammers cut corners or rush modifications to save costs, leaving buyers with fragile, unsafe homes. At first glance, these homes might look trendy and innovative, but underneath? When handled correctly, container home construction requires structural engineers, certified welders, and detailed calculations to compensate for every removed panel. Scammers skip all of this. They rely on DIY-style modifications that seem functional on the outside, but compromise the container's load paths. One of the biggest issues faced by container home buyers is building code violations. Local laws and regulations are strict for good reason. They safeguard safety and health. However, many scammers and unlicensed builders ignore these rules to make a quick sale. They sell homes that don't have the necessary permits, inspections, or certifications. As a result, The home may not meet safety standards for electrical wiring, plumbing, fire safety, or structural integrity. Without proper permits, these homes become illegal to live in and hard to insure or refinance. If authorities discover violations later, owners can face fines, eviction orders, or even demolition. For buyers, this means pouring money into a home that could be shut down or confiscated. It also limits resale options. Living in an unpermitted home can cause legal troubles, and repairing violations can be extremely costly. The scam lies in convincing buyers they're getting a smart, modern home, when, in fact, it's built in shadiness and may be illegal from day one. In many regions, building codes require strict adherence to zoning restrictions, fire rating standards, insulation levels, and exit requirements for safety. Scam builders bypass these entirely, assuming buyers will never check the documentation. What begins as an attractive, low price often turns into a money pit thanks to hidden costs. Scammers lure buyers with what seems like an affordable deal, but they omit essential expenses. These include delivery fees, site preparation, such as foundation work, permits, and inspections. Once the project begins, buyers find themselves paying for insulation, plumbing, electrical wiring, roofing, and waterproofing. Expenses that can double or triple the initial quote. Many sellers don't include costs for ongoing maintenance or repairs needed to fix substandard quality. These hidden charges quickly wipe out any savings, making the container home more expensive than traditional housing in the long run. Scammers rely on this tactic to trap buyers into a cycle of ongoing payments and repairs. Wise buyers always ask for comprehensive quotes, including delivery, permits, and post-construction costs, before signing any contracts. Ignoring these hidden expenses can leave you with a house you can't afford to keep. Beyond the obvious add-ons, buyers also face surprise fees midway through construction when scammers suddenly claim unexpected materials or mandatory upgrades are needed. Even routine essentials, such as HVAC systems or septic connections, are often excluded from the initial quote. By the time the home is livable, the total cost often exceeds what a conventional house would have required. Living in a container home can pose serious health risks if not done properly. Many containers used for homes were previously employed to ship chemicals, toxic waste, or goods contaminated with mold or bacteria. If these containers aren't adequately cleaned and treated, toxic residues remain trapped inside the walls and floors. Over time, moisture seeps in, creating a perfect environment for mold growth. Mold spores are linked to respiratory problems, allergies, and other health issues, especially for children, the elderly, or people with pre-existing conditions. Many sellers downplay or hide these risks, claiming their containers are safe after minimal treatment. Buyers may only realize the danger after moving in and experiencing health problems. Improperly refurbished containers are a ticking health hazard, making them risky investments and uncomfortable homes. Certain containers are coated with industrial-grade pesticides or lead-based paints meant to protect goods during transport. When converted into homes without proper removal or sealing, these chemicals continue to off-gas for years, contaminating indoor air. Without expert remediation, occupants breathe in fumes daily without realizing the long-term risk. Buyers often assume a fresh coat of paint means the container is clean, but contaminants can be embedded deep within the metal or absorbed by wooden floors used during shipping. Here's one harsh truth about container homes. They often aren't designed for real, comfortable living. Metal walls and roofs mean they struggle with insulation, so the interior environment becomes extreme. In the summer, the sun heats up the metal shell, turning the inside into a scorching oven that's nearly impossible to cool down. In winter, that same metal becomes freezing cold, making it a miserable place to live without expensive heating systems. Many buyers report skyrocketing energy bills because they try to fix this with air conditioning or heaters. On top of temperature struggles, container homes are often cramped inside, with awkward layouts that make it hard to use space efficiently. The compact size can quickly feel claustrophobic, and the minimalist design might not suit families or long-term comfort. Noise travels easily through metal walls, making simple tasks louder and more distracting. The echo effect creates an environment where conversations are amplified and appliances are disruptive. Privacy is limited, and outside noises are hard to ignore. Storage limitations become frustrating as homeowners struggle to fit items into tight spaces. Over the years, discomfort accumulates and turns what was promised as a stylish, modern solution into a daily challenge. Poor ventilation is another serious problem with container homes. If fresh air isn't circulated properly, moisture builds up quickly inside the confined space of the container. Moisture leads to condensation, which damages wood, rusts metals, and fuels mold and mildew. Owners report constant battles with dampness and musty odors that never go away, creating an unhealthy living environment. Without proper ventilation systems, these homes trap stale air, allergens, and pollutants. This not only affects comfort, but also causes long-term health risks for occupants. Many sellers ignore the importance of proper ventilation to save on costs. The result is a container home that might look neat, but is essentially unlivable if you want clean air and dry walls. Over time, inadequate airflow causes structural deterioration as trapped humidity corrodes the interior frame. Electrical systems also suffer from ongoing moisture exposure, heightening the risk of fire hazards. Some owners try to compensate with small vents or open windows, but these rarely solve the issue. Effective ventilation requires engineered airflow and mechanical systems, not cheap fan inserts or makeshift openings. Scam builders rarely disclose this. And retrofitting ventilation requires invasive modifications and expensive equipment. Electrical problems in container homes are a major safety concern, especially when built or modified by unlicensed or unscrupulous builders. Many feature electrically unsafe or substandard wiring installed without adherence to safety standards. Cheap or DIY electrical solutions are often used to cut costs and speed up timelines, introducing risks such as fires, shocks, and system failures. Common warnings include exposed wiring, overloaded circuits, improperly grounded outlets, or circuit breakers that frequently trip. If installations aren't done by licensed electricians following local codes, the home becomes hazardous. Faulty wiring can ignite fires, especially combined with flammable insulation or materials. Container homes have amplified risks due to metal construction and often inadequate safety systems. Improperly wired homes often fail safety inspections or insurance qualification, leaving owners vulnerable. Lack of proper grounding or surge protection makes structures vulnerable to lightning strikes or power surges, causing electrocution or fires. Many scam-built homes use hidden junction boxes, incorrect splicing, and cheap components. This patchwork shortens system lifespan and creates failure points. Metal containers require specialized grounding to prevent electrification during faults or storms. Rarely implemented correctly by scammers. Some owners discover scorch marks, melted wires, or flickering lights weeks after moving in. Correcting issues demands rewiring and tearing apart interiors, creating a financial burden and daily danger. Soundproofing is critical yet often ignored in container homes. Metal walls reflect and amplify sound waves, creating an environment where every noise from traffic, neighbors, or weather is loud and disruptive. Without proper soundproofing, steps, conversations, or appliances echo indoors, harming privacy and peace. For those working from home or in dense areas, noise becomes unbearable. Scam builders often gloss over or promise superficial soundproofing. Genuine soundproofing requires heavy insulation like mass-loaded vinyl, resilient channels, or specialized drywall, which increases costs but is essential. Without this, container homes become giant echo chambers, making quiet, private living nearly impossible. This lack of sound dampening causes mental fatigue, irritability, and blurred boundaries in shared or close quarters. Buyers should scrutinize soundproofing claims or prepare for costly investments for real peace. Temperature shifts cause the metal to expand and contract, generating popping and creaking noises. Wind rattles the structure and amplifies vibrations, disrupting rest and focus. Children, pets, and household activities create far more noise than in traditional structures. Many attempt DIY soundproofing, but find little improvement. Effective soundproofing demands major reconstruction that a budget cannot support. Scam builders avoid acknowledging this, prioritizing profit over comfort. Over time, residents live in chaotic, mentally draining spaces. Poor water drainage silently destroys many container homes. Unlike traditional houses, containers often lack proper roofing and drainage systems. Scam builders skip sealing roofs correctly or installing gutters to direct water away. During heavy rains, water accumulates on roofs and seeps through unsealed gaps, causing interior leaks. This leads to rust, structural damage, and foundation issues that compromise safety. Many owners discover these problems only after moving in. Standing water weighs hundreds of kilograms, stressing metal frames and weakening welds. Rust spreads rapidly once water breaches protective coatings, especially in humid regions. Interior damage appears as stained ceilings, warped floors, and bubbling panels. Poor grading causes mud buildup and soil shifting that threatens foundations. Wastewater can even backflow into living areas. Fixing drainage requires major reconstruction. New roofing, regrading, gutters, and rust-proofing treatments. These expensive repairs stem from builders ignoring basic housing safety requirements to boost profits. Research sellers thoroughly. Check local laws and inspect quality carefully before buying. If this helped, like, comment, and subscribe for more stories.